Assalamu alaikum, everybody, and peace be upon you all. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about Islamophobia, which is basically the concept of fear and hostility toward Muslims in America. And as you flip through the channels of your TV, you are bound to come across something negative about Islam these days, whether it's the mosque or the Islamic Cultural Center being built in downtown Manhattan and the rallies against that, to a pastor who wants to burn the Quran. Everywhere around you, you see negative images of Islam on the TV and in the news around you. These repeated signs of anti-Islamic rhetoric is unhealthy for our understanding and leads to discrimination, it leads to stereotyping, it leads to hate crimes, it leads to a lot of negative results overall. And this extreme prejudice is against everything America stands for as a nation, and goes against the core values of tolerance and equality and pluralism and freedom and everything that this nation and the founding fathers built it on. However, it's also resulted in the acceptance of false ideas like that Islam is an irrational religion, that it's archaic, that it's barbaric, that it supports terrorism, when these are all untrue. They're false, and in reality, Islam doesn't represent any of that. These ideas are produced through a host of mostly right-wing outlets, and they have a mission of making people suspicious of Islam. And that's what really it's all about. What Islam really stands for, if you talk to a moderate mainstream Muslim, anybody across the street that knows Islam or is a Muslim, they'll quickly tell you that it's a peaceful religion, it's a religion of harmony, it's a religion of unity, it's a religion of peace, and coincidentally, it's really very similar to the founding principles of what America has stand for. And so if you compare Islam, the religion, to America's constitution, you'll see a lot of similarities. And you'll see a lot of similarities between Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. And so Muslim leaders have also supported ideas of open-mindedness, tolerance, equality, honesty, and freedom. And when 9/11 happened, not only was a plane hijacked, but the religion of Islam was hijacked as well. The voices of moderates were ignored and they were shut down. And the voices of radicals began to come to light. There were radicals on this side saying that Islam is the worst thing that's ever happened. This is a terroristic religion and everybody in it is horrible. And I'm sure we've watched Fox News and other right-wing news outlets, and they say all kinds of things that are just horrendous to hear. And then you have the radicals on the other side who are saying things like, well, Islam is a religion that is of violence and we have to do this as jihadists and things of such sort. But where are the moderates? Where are the middle grounds? Where are us? Who hears our voices is the question that we need to ask. And unfortunately, we're not being voiced. And that is a direct result of Islamophobia because it silences us. And unless we take it upon ourselves to speak up, unless we have events like this where we can have personal relationships with one another, then we are not going to be able to voice our opinions. And having fear and animosity is only going to block any real growth in our country and hinder any potential positive change that we have. We have so much potential. We are all average, good people out there, and we all have a lot of similarities, and we're all human, and we all want the same things. However, if we don't see the similarities, but the only thing we see is the differences, then we're going nowhere. And unfortunately, the radicals have succeeded a lot with the Islamophobic sense that they have driven into our minds and into our youth these days. The anti-Muslim sentiment also creates tensions and hinders quicker integration of Muslims in the country. Negative public attitude translates into exclusion and even violence at times. And Muslim youth in the West are very confused because they're being grown and preached ideas of freedom and plurality and all these feelings of equality. However, when they are not pushed toward their own empowerment, then they grow up disillusioned, and that can create social disorder. That is also one of the results of Islamophobia. Islamophobia also negates one of the greatest strengths of America, which is a multicultural society. This is what America is made upon. We are a multicultural society. We're a melting pot. That's why America is so good. That's what makes us amazing. We're all Americans and we all look different and we all are special in our own different ways, and that's what diversity is all about. Why corrupt that? And that is what is happening, unfortunately. So the presence of an educated, professional, and patriotic class of Muslims is actually a resource and an asset that we should foster and we should help feed, if anything. Now, America's Muslims have deep appreciation and love for America, but they also have the understanding, love, and empathy of the Muslim world. And so if you really look at that, you see that this can be a bridge that can be built between America and the Muslim world. And what better of a way to do that than actually key in onto Muslim Americans and say, hey, what do you really think? What is really going on over there? How do you feel? Instead of just seeing what the media has to say about everybody. And so these are all different ways that we can actually foster and help and take advantage of the opportunities that we might have in front of us instead of push them down and ignore them away. Islamophobia prevents meaningful engagement with Muslims and hinders any productive bridge building in any source of the imagination. The way forward is to develop a sense of urgency, and that having Islamophobia should be made unacceptable, just as racism is, or just as anti-Semitism is. In fact, Islamophobia is like racism in a lot of ways, and that should not be accepted. And we shouldn't stand up for it. And if you don't stand up for it, even if you're not Muslim, then one day it will happen to you and nobody will stand up for you. So we can all support each other for the same cause that our founding fathers built this country on, which was freedom for all. I mean, isn't that why, we came to this country in the first place? Was so that way we could live together in harmony and happiness and freedom and peace. This Islamophobia is already beginning to erode America's image and culture, and Americans should view Islam as what it truly is, a faith with diversity, internal differences, having much in common with Christianity and Judaism, and a partner in America's future. On a very personal note, I was born and raised in this country. This is the only country I call home. As far as I'm concerned, 100% American. And recently I have noticed that even simple trips to Walmart and to the mall have caused me to feel a little insecure because of the looks that I get, or the little glares that I'm getting more lately. And I feel not scared or anything like that, but I feel disappointed because I know that's not what America is all about. I know it's not, because I've lived here and I know that we have a lot of positivity that we need to foster. And so I just wish that more people would just come up to me and say, hi, I have a question, or come to events like these. And so as I end, I hope that this event will be something like that for you all, where it helps foster those communications, it helps everybody on a more personal level, and it helps Islamophobia be pushed aside overall. Thank you.